The takeaway is the most important part of the swing. If you mess this up and you whip it inside, you're going to manipulate from there onwards. You've got two choices if you do that. You go over and you open the face. You fight this and you raise the handle and then you push the ball or flip hook. So what we want in the takeaway is we want to keep the club on the left side of our rotation. So if this point is our rotation and we have a line here, we don't want the club going to the right of that. The reason is because we want the club on the right side of our rotation in the transition so that then we can release the power into the ball. When you do this, the forces of the club are also going to twist your body, so you're going to end up with a high left shoulder. Okay, this is a simple drill you can do. Just hold the club out in front of you with a little hinge. Now, I want you to see, if you imagine this point is your center of rotation, see if you can keep the club slightly to the left of that. And then I want you to do that where the ball would be. Same again. So it's staying to the left of my rotation. If I let it get behind the rotation, it's going to look like this. Left shoulder's coming high, hands are going to go out. Okay, another way of looking at this is the rate that the club moves relative to the rotation in the hands. So if I've got a takeaway that goes really in, what that means is the club speed and movement is going to be a lot more relative to my hands and my body. So if they're moving pretty much at the same rate, that's going to keep them pretty much in front of my rotation. So we could even exaggerate that and feel the opposite which would be the club being left behind slightly. Now when you do this in the swing, you need to have the same idea. We're going to feel like we're pushing everything together, and we're going to have a slight push down of the left hand, which gets the club slightly up. So in your mind, you just got to think club left of rotation, little bit of push down. Left of rotation, little hinge, and then you just let it go. When you get ready, there's a slight cup in your left wrist. We want to maintain that in the takeaway. So in order to maintain that, there has to be some push down. If I let the club go too low, what that does is it actually bows my wrist. So if I roll and go down, it might look like the club face is open, but actually relative to my swing, it's actually closed because I've bowed the wrist. I've actually done this. So I'm just going to think, I'm going to push everything at the same rate, and I'm going to keep that angle in the backswing. Okay, so if you want to change your takeaway, it's not going to happen overnight. You've got to do this at home for maybe 5 minutes for the next 6 months. It's just something you've got to just rep out. So this is what I want you to feel. Okay, so you're in your setup position. You're going to feel like the hands and the club move at the same rate, and your hands move slightly in, and they actually get closer to your leg. This is going to be the drill. Just do that over and over again, keeping the same angle in the wrist like we mentioned. And then occasionally I want you to feel the opposite, because your instinct is going to be to turn this way, which is going to feel so different to this. So when you hit the ball, you're going to feel like you're going in the completely wrong direction. But eventually what's going to happen is this move is going to become this move rather than this move and this move. Okay, be patient with this one. Takes a bit of time, but it'll be worth it.